Hi, this is Thresden, and this is part 7 of an Elder Scrolls Online Gremoor Edition walkthrough. When we last left off, this annoying guy, Narsis Dren, had been once again turned into a bottle. We need to take that bottle and bring it to the Librarian in Solitude. So we're going to go grab this striking locale right outside of the barrow that we just left, and then we'll head to Solitude and pick up some more quests there. And then we'll move on to give the bottle to the Librarian and see if she can help him. We're going to do all that right now. Right, I'm going to go grab the striking locale over here. And then we'll head back to Solitude. Angel's journal. Then we got a treasure chest. And my inventory's full. I'm gonna have to delete something. Certainly want the I'll just use this experience scroll. Alright, that's fine. I don't need that. Alright, now I need to get to the nearest way shrine. Oh, here's a sky shard. See if I can outrun these big cats here. Alright, I'm trying to think of the fastest way to get to Solitude. I mean, I'm right here. Just need to go across the water.
What?
Alright, now that I'm in Solitude, I'm going to clear out my inventory and then I'll be right back. Alright, so I've fixed my inventory. I'm down to 8 out of 60 slots, but while we're here, we should go ahead and get crafting certification. If we go right here, it says, you notice a prominent handbill on the requisition board. The Jarl of Solitude bids you welcome. Masters of the craft await you in Solitude. New crafters shall be trained. Accomplished crafters will be certified, all at no cost to you. Read the fine print. Unskilled crafters will be certified after a brief training. Skilled crafters will be certified immediately. The master shall charge no fee for certification. Certification is mandatory to fulfill crafting writs. Interested parties should seek out Milaneth for blacksmith, clothier, and woodworker certification. Speak with Danel Tilano for provisioner, enchanter, and alchemist certification. And I'm going to take the handbill. And I believe one of them is inside of here. Yeah, here's Dan Tolano.
You must be here to learn the craft, yes? Your alliance covers my considerable fees, allowing me to impart my knowledge at no cost to you. If you prove yourself, I'll certify you as competent to fulfill crafting writs.
Yes, I saw a notice. How do the crafting writs work?
Crafting writs are daily requests for crafted goods. You must be a certified crafter to fulfill them. Prove you know what you're doing, and I'll certify you.
Alright, tell me what you can certify.
I'm authorized to train and certify provisioners, alchemists, and enchanters. If this interests you, we should begin immediately.
I want to know more about the crafts you certify.
Certainly. Please specify.
What do provisioners make?
Food and drink. Anything that warms the belly, reinvigorating body and mind. If you choose to learn this art, I will impart the culinary knowledge I acquired over the course of decades.
What does an alchemist make?
Potions of all kinds. The subtle art of mixing reagents can produce rather unsubtle effects.
What can enchanters make?
Glyphs to empower weapons, armor, and jewelry with magical properties. I can teach you how to wreath your axe with flames, or give cloth robes the strength of iron.
Alright, I've got it.
I suppose I should mention Maelmoth. She certifies blacksmiths, clothiers, and woodworkers, if you're into that sort of thing. Bet that's uncharitable of me. She's a true master of the material crafts.
No, I want you to certify me. Let's just go ahead and do the consumable writs first.
Good. We should begin while things are busy for neither of us. There is much more I can teach you. What else do you hope to learn from me?
What can you tell me? Alright. Let's go ahead and get the Tailor's crafting box. And then let's morph Force Shock. Right, and I'm going to get Crushing Shock.
Not much longer now.
Maybe. Okay, so I'm actually not going to morph Force Shock. I want to instead... I want to take this Ball of Fire, move it over here, and I'm going to move everything one spot over. Actually, I'm going to get rid of Force Shock. And then I want to start working on Restoration Staff abilities. So I'm going to get Grand Healing. Summon Restoring Spirits with your staff, healing you and your allies in the target area for 647 health, and an additional 647 health every 1 second for 8 seconds. Alright, so that's a bit better.
There is much more I can teach you. What else do you hope to learn from me?
What can you tell me about provisioning certification?
A provisioner condenses the essence of ingredients into food or drink. A true artist balances palate with nutrition. I can share this noble profession, but I can only certify one craft at a time. Understood?
I want to be certified as a provisioner.
Provisioning is a rewarding yet grueling profession. Gruel, you see. I am capable of levity, on occasion. First, you'll need a recipe and some ingredients. Then you shall roast a pig.
You'll certify me if I roast a pig?
Yes, I hope you don't think it beneath you. As bards learn lyrics before singing them, provisioners must work from recipes. A recipe specifies volume, proportion, and preparation time. Understanding these principles is key.
Very well. Where should I find a recipe?
I keep an old rival's recipe nearby. Go, find and memorize it. Return to me when you have done so.
Where else can I find recipes?
Provisioners are quite secretive, but all is fair in brews and stews. Some provisioners hide recipes in old drawers or shelves, thinking themselves clever. better to memorize the recipe. Then others cannot possibly learn your secrets.
Is there anywhere I can purchase recipes?
Should coin be of no issue to you, guilds often sell such items in their guild stores. You may also trade with an ally if they have any excess.
Now, why is this guy fanning himself with a fan? We're in the middle of Skyrim. The place is freezing cold. I mean, if he's hot, he's not even near a fire or anything. What's wrong with this guy? Roast pig recipe. Let's see what's in this tailor's crafting box. Jute and molybdenum. That will certainly be useful.
Roast pig is an easy recipe to learn, but difficult to master.
I learned the recipe. What's next?
Provisioners are only as good as their ingredients. The fewer the better. Simplicity of pairing is key. Now, go find ingredients for roast pig. If my stocks are empty, you should find what you need in town.
Where else can I find ingredients?
Barrels, sacks of grain, kitchens, of course. It's food, it's simply around. Find what you need and take it.
Alright, let's see. Well, here we go. White meat. Alright. What else do I need? Here's the cooking fire. That's it. That's the only ingredient I need. Oops, going the wrong way.
Once you return with the ingredients, we'll determine whether you know how to combine them.
Oh no. I've done it again. I did this with the previous walkthrough too. I made the roast chicken instead of talking to him first. Okay, so there's no way to finish provisioning certification. I messed it up. So let's just move on. In fact, I'm gonna have to abandon the quest so that we can take the next one.
There is much more I can teach you. What else do you hope to learn from me?
I'm interested in enchanting certification.
Enchanters harness the possibility of runes, transforming them into the certainty of glyphs. I'll teach you, but I can only focus on one certification at a time. Is this agreeable?
I want to be certified as an enchanter.
Potency, essence, and aspect. All beneath the stars bear these component concepts. When combined, they form glyphs, which add enchantments to items. First, you'll find these component runes. Then I will have you create a glyph.
I need to create a glyph to be certified?
Absolutely, for such is the essence of enchanting. Runes of potency, essence, and aspect are the fundamental components of glyphs. Collect one of each variety before you return.
Where can I find a potency, essence, and aspect rune?
I know of a cache outside this town. It is a rare exception for runes to be clustered so close together, so thank whatever gods you worship. Should the runes be absent, you must search further afield.
Where else can I find runes?
There are many places one can find runes, but the ancient ruins of Tamriel are where I look first. Outside, primarily. They tend to gutter out if kept away from starlight.
I'll return with the runes. Yeah, that's a shame that I messed up that provisioning certification. It's the same thing I did in the other walkthrough. If you get ahead of yourself, and you go ahead and make whatever it is he's wanting you to make, there is no way to finish the quest unless you happen to get the ingredient, the material that you need later. So at some point, we'll get some white meat from going inside of a delve or something, and we'll be able to finish it, but it could be weeks from now or something. So here's a housing brochure. Are you an adventurer of good reputation? Have low to moderate homicidal tendencies? Looking for a cozy home to call your own, but too low on funds to afford one? Okay, I guess I clicked the wrong thing. Oh, here it goes. How would you like a free inn room? That's right, completely free. No catch. Just seek out Philande Demery at your local inn for more information about this exciting ownership opportunity. And so this is how you get your first house in the game. It's just a little inn room. But you can start to decorate it with trophies and furniture and things like that. Oko, Ta, and Jorah runes.
Once you recover 3 runes, one each of potency, essence, and aspect, we shall begin the enchanting process.
I've got them right here.
You likely noticed their distinctive flares of light.
I did. What's our next step?
We begin at the enchanting table. There you will combine a rune of potency, essence, and aspect. This simple puzzle forms a glyph. Now go, piece them together.
How do I use... Wait, I'm going to go ahead and do this first. I think that's another bug if I... need to craft a trifling glyph of health. Okay, it's Jorah, Oko, and Ta. There's Oko. Here's Ta.
Jorah, Oko, Ta.
You have translated the following runes. Jorah for develop, Oko for health, Ta for base. And I should end up with a glyph. Now you'll notice I've got like 1,000,000 essences and some higher level potency. That's because this is showing things from my bank, which is all of my characters. So obviously if you just started off, you're not going to see all of this stuff. Now, do I have a glyph of health? Yeah, a trifling glyph of health. Gives 562 maximum health.
Craft a glyph using a rune of potency, essence, and aspect. Return when you have forged intent into form.
Form accomplished. I have the glyph here.
You should attach it to an item so you can see the enchantment's effects. You are now certified to fulfill enchanting rites. May you unravel the secrets of Nirn. Your command of the crafts is impressive, but not yet in totality. I am still capable of instructing you.
Okay, so let's see if we've got an item we can add this to. And I don't even see the glyph anymore.
Not much longer now.
Alright, this is not enchanted. There it is. Trifling glyph of health. Okay, so you can see, depending on what item you enchant it with, it will have a different amount of health. So, I believe that 800 health that it showed on there, that's only if you put it on your chest piece. I put this on my shoulder, so it gave me 227 maximum health, which is still better than nothing.
Your command of the crafts is impressive, but not yet in totality.
Tell me more about
I am still
Alchemy
capable of
Certification.
instructing you. Alchemists are masters of the elixir. They trap magic in a bottle for later use. But I can only certify you in one discipline at a time. If this is agreeable, we can begin your training.
I want to be certified as an alchemist.
As with master chefs, every alchemist must assemble the right components before crafting a special concoction. Are you so capable? We shall see. I require you to locate a solvent and some reagents. Then you shall craft me a potion.
I need to create a potion to be certified?
Yes. Every alchemical mixture requires a solvent, a pure liquid base, and reagents such as herbs and flowers. Now go. Find a solvent and some reagents. Once you have what you need, return to me.
Where can I find solvents and reagents?
There's a quiet area nearby with mountain flowers and columbine. A fresh source of water can't be far from them. If you find nothing there, venture into the wilds and seek them for yourself.
Where else can I find solvents and reagents?
In the wilderness, you'll find herbs, flowers, and mushrooms all around. These make the best reagents. As for solvents, look for bubbling springs in lakes, ponds, streams, and shores. Sealed bottles as well. Purity of the solvent is key.
I'll return with the ingredients. Now you'll see once we get done doing this, it will allow us to take... I've already got consumables crafting writs. These pop up every day. They're daily quests where you can make things and you'll get experience points and it levels your crafting skill line and also gives you some materials you can use. Well, that wasn't fair. It just teleported me backwards. Something to do with sharding, I guess. And you don't have to choose which craft you take either. Unlike most MMOs, you don't have to choose just 2 crafts. You can learn all of the crafts, which means that all of the materials you get when you're out adventuring, you can use all of them. And that's pretty lucky too, because oftentimes they're worth 0 gold if you vendor them, so you can make them into stuff, and the stuff you make, you can earn gold, even though the materials maybe are worth nothing. I got a mountain flower, some water, and let's see what this is. I think it's another mountain flower. No, it's columbine.
Locate a solvent and some reagents so you may craft a potion. I'll remain here for now.
Ingredients located. Have them right here.
An apprentice of mine tried to use seawater as a solvent. I had him drink the results. He agreed it was a terrible idea after he finished retching.
I'll remember that. I'm ready for the next step.
Good. Now go to an alchemy station. Use a solvent and 2 differing reagents to craft a potion. The reagents must possess common traits, or you'll waste all components. You see, alchemy is as simple as pairing like with like.
How do I know which reagent traits are common?
Open your knapsack and place them in your mouth. The first time you consume a reagent, you'll learn its most rudimentary trait. True, some taste quite foul. But it's a small price to pay for the power of alchemy.
How can potions benefit me?
Potions have far too many benefits to recount. Expect them to have strong effects for short periods of time. Or are you asking how to use them? Open the stopper, place them to your lips, and swallow. Don't pour them on your hair. Lesson learned.
All right. All right, we've got natural water, columbine, and mountain flower. Luckily, I remembered that. And columbine restores health and stamina. Mountain flower restores health and stamina. So we got a sip of health.
Blend the solvent's purity with the reagent's traits. Return to me when you've crafted a potion.
The ingredients were a good blend. I have the potion here.
Your potions have a slight fizz to them, but your skill with admixtures is unquestioned. Far better than my former apprentice. You are now authorized to obtain and fulfill alchemy writs. May your elixirs remain potent and your reagents fresh. Your command of the crafts is impressive, but not yet in totality. I am still capable of instructing you.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and take this. Provisioning certification?
Yes, provisioners are only as good as their ingredients. The fewer the better. Simplicity of pairing is key.
So, if I run across some white meat at some point, I'll be able to finish that quest, but it's going to be impossible to finish it right now. So now we need to find the person who does the other certifications. Alright, I don't see her in here either.
I know I shouldn't be amused, but these Solitude superstitions? Adding salt to bathing water to prevent death by horker? Glad these people put up with my giggling long enough to buy my goods.
Alright, so we can buy house items here, but we don't want to do that yet.
I had not thought to meet people who believed stranger things than the stone-chewer goblins, yet here I am in solitude among these Nords. The things I do to bring quality goods to places.
And this guy sells furnishings that you can only get after you've gotten certain achievements, so those are all in red, because we've achieved almost nothing on this character. Alright, I guess I'm going to go ahead into here, talk to Philonda Demery. Let's see what quest that is. Okay, it's room to spare.
This is becoming tiresome.
Where are you, Philonda? Maybe she's down in the basement down here. Or upstairs? There she is.
You have a look about you. Some sort of quality that's rare to find. And trust me, I'm never wrong about these sort of things. Can I interest you in a room at the local inn? Actually, wait, that came out wrong.
A room at the local inn?
Look, empty rooms are just bad for business. The upkeep alone costs me more than the place is worth. But I think we can come to a sort of arrangement. And not the sort of arrangement that involves a few drinks. Let me be clear about that.
What sort of arrangement?
I need someone to improve the reputation of my properties. A hero type who people look up to. And I have a feeling about you. You've done something great and are probably on the way to do something greater. Seems like we can help each other here.
I'm interested. What are the details?
Yeah, all right. Details. I can see how this might be a bit sketchy, but don't worry. The inn room is well kept, conveniently located. I know you adventuring types wanting a home in every town. This would be a nice addition to your holdings.
There has to be a catch. What is it?
No catch. I just need someone to freshen up my image. And my gut tells me you're the one to do that. As long as you're not planning on turning it into a skooma den or an outlaw's refuge, the room is all yours.
So, within legal reason, I can do whatever I want with the place?
Oh, sure. You can set up some crafting stations, house your pets, display any treasures or trophies you've come upon in your adventures. Hey, you can even set up a target dummy to practice combat. Just don't demolish the place and we're good.
All right, I accept your offer.
Excellent. You won't regret this decision, I swear. Here's the deed and key to the room. Took me a while, but I finally was able to take them back from the last tenant. Required more time in the sewers than I had hoped for, but hey, that's business. Hope the room is to your liking. With your reputation, I'm sure you shouldn't have any trouble with the neighbors. If you do, remember death threats are not the way to go. Had a spot of trouble when my last tenant started sending those out.
Anything else I should keep in mind?
Nope, just make yourself at home. Spruce things up a bit. Honestly, I can't wait to see how you arrange the place. Hopefully you'll end up with a few less Daedric shrines than another former tenant of mine. Like 0. 0's a good number.
So the question is, does my character worship Daedra or not? Should I worry about this? I'm going to say that I lie and say, of course, I don't even worship Daedra.
Oh, what a relief. I can't tell you how hard it is to wash bloodstains off of cobble floors. But that's not even the worst of it. I've had tenants cram their rooms with the wildest things. Mounts, foliage, assistants. I mean, it's an in-room.
Do you own the place?
I own this and several other properties throughout Tamriel. It pays to diversify. Of course, that means I've got to look out for a variety of troubles, too. But hey, no one ever said the real estate business was easy.
All right. I'll take your free room. Now, where is the room? Right, I just need to go in here. Whether visiting the Bard's College, seeking an audience at the Blue Palace, or looking to imbibe the best Nord mead around, take advantage of convenient living in the midst of solitude with this room inside the Lonely Troll. Room is too small for dueling. Okay, so I'll just click travel to house. You know what? We should find the door to this. That's kind of silly. There's the door right there. Alright, I don't need to worry about this. That's setting up a visitor's list. So here's the room, and it's bare. There's nothing in here. When we get to a certain level, we'll get a bed as a leveling reward. And then we'll be able to put a bed in here, and it'll look more like a place that somebody actually lives in. We can put our dungeon trophies on the side, whatever we want, but it won't hold very much furniture because it's so small. Eventually, as you get more money in the game, you can get bigger houses, big mansions in different zones all over Tamriel and decorate them and put trophies in them. A lot of players who have been playing for years, they've done every quest in the game, they've done every dungeon, and they end up spending all of their time trying to make money to buy more houses and make more furniture for their houses. So I'm going to have to figure out where Maelmoth is. Alright, so I've looked all over town, and I cannot find Maelmoth. So we can't do leatherworking, blacksmithing, and clothing certification right now because I do not know where the certifier for those professions is. So maybe I'll figure it out later and I'll be able to show it in this series. But for now, this is what you get every day. You can go to these consumables crafting writs, and I've got enchanting and alchemy, so I'll pull these writs. And it'll tell me to make something. So this one says craft a sip of stamina, and I need corn flour for that, which I believe I don't have. So I'm just going to hang on to this quest, probably the other one too. I need Jode Potency Rune, which I don't have. So I won't be able to do them. Really, these consumables crafting writs are always very difficult to do. You often don't have the materials you need. The other ones, leatherworking, blacksmithing, and clothing, you can pretty much do those every day in most cases. But we can't do them because we can't find Maelmoth. So let's just move on to the next quest. We need to go talk to Dean Villa and bring the bottle, the Narsis bottle, to her. This is the daily quest. You've also got daily quests here. Seeking brave souls and able bodies. An abundance of troubles plague the holds of Western Skyrim. We seek brave souls willing to risk life and limb in the pursuit of gold and glory for the benefit of the people of Hoffinger, Hjalmarch, and Carthold. Talk to Sildred the Moneylender in the City of Solitude for details. So if you've already done every quest in the game, you can come over here every day and do these daily quests.
Someone with some spirit. Even a month ago, it wouldn't have been this hard to find a few strong Nords to kill what needs killing. Now? Well, if you have some fight in you, our militia needs it.
What do you need me to do?
I need a giant slayer. And not just any giant. A sea giant. Made landfall just today and promptly slaughtered a patrol of the King's soldiers on the coast. Safe was the one who brought us word.
You just need me to kill it?
I need you to kill it and find what's left of the unfortunate patrol. They had scouting reports that are needed back here. And if you need anything else, speak to the surviving soldier, Shield Captain Viglia. Should still be at the Lonely Troll, drinking away the grief.
Okay, I'll kill the sea giant and return the scouting reports to you.
If you're hoping for a different task, I have nothing else for you.
What's the difference between a typical giant and a sea giant?
Your typical giant's an oafish brute that can barely feed and clothe itself. Not the sort of thing you'd expect to build a ship, let alone sail one. Thought they were just another fanciful tale sailors spun, until that scout returned pale as death.
Could the scout be mistaken?
A brush with death will do things to a mind. But the army are no strangers to giants. They don't trouble us often, but when they do, it's usually the King's soldiers who clash with the brutes. When one says this is no normal giant, I believe them.
Tell me about this group you represent.
The Swords of Solitude Militia. Oldest volunteer army in the hold. We've defended the people of Western Skyrim for generations. The High King's soldiers cannot respond to every petition for assistance, so we lend our aid to those willing to pay.
Like the Fighters Guild?
Western Skyrim doesn't need a bunch of outsiders telling us how to handle our affairs. The High King permits the guilds their presence here. But they work through us or not at all. Skyrim can fend for itself. Though we are on lean times.
Is that why you're recruiting?
We've never had such a shortage of folk willing to fight to defend their neighbors. I don't know where all the brave souls have gone. But Solitude feels lean as a lone wolf these days. So here I am, on the street like a beggar. Dark times.
Alright, so we can pick up all these quests and, I mean, we probably won't do them, but maybe...
Who's this? Strong, sober, well-equipped? The coterie of organized scholars needs adventurers of your stripe. Our research very much depends on it. Our fieldwork is fascinating, satisfying, and it pays quite... well, there is payment. Interesting.
So yeah, if we happen to run across these quest objectives, we can do them while we're doing other things. What do you need me to do?
This task is part of my own alchemical research, and something of my own creation. I believe it will make for an interesting study. I've formulated a tonic of giant strength that's nearly ready to test. All it needs is a finishing touch.
What is it you need?
Snowberries. They are quite popular among giants and mammoths, and look how large they grow. I don't think that's a coincidence. I need you to add a copious amount to my mixture and consume it immediately to observe the results.
Alright, I'll gather snowberries and test your concoction.
Local sources have mostly been consumed, but the bushes along the frozen coast should be remote enough to remain untouched. Oh, and if you have any additional questions as to the nature of my study, please don't hesitate to ask.
Do you really believe these berries can bestow the strength of a giant?
Oh, it's far more complicated than that. The tonic's other central ingredient is the essence of a giant itself. Ooh, forget I said that. Ooh, you will have to drink it after all.
Okay. You're certain that this potion will be safe to consume?
I can assure you that in its present formulation that it will cause you no harm. I've nearly eliminated the tongue swelling entirely. The snow berries should allow the tonic to more easily diffuse through your body and make it much more palatable.
All right, I'll head to the frozen coast.
Local sources have mostly been consumed, but the bushes along the frozen coast should be remote enough to remain untouched. Oh, and if you have any additional questions as to the nature of my study, please don't hesitate to ask.
Tell me about yourself.
Tinzin is the name. I'm a representative of the renowned coterie of organized scholars. I'm also a member. Alchemy is my purview, as well as my passion, but our membership's specialties outnumber the stars in the sky.
I've never heard of your group before.
Oh, we're the oldest institution of learning in Western Skyrim, outside the Bard's College. In fact, the students of the Bard's College and the Mages Guild employ us exclusively for research assistance, a perk of our charter with the High King.
They don't do their own research?
Well, the Mages Guild is a foreign body, and folk are particularly suspicious of them. So, they are legally obligated to conduct their business through our trusted institution. As for the Bard's College, not all poets are scholars, let's say.
What kind of jobs do you offer?
The dangerous and dirty kind, I'm afraid. We may be a scholarly organization, but some of our research is more hazardous than others, so we are often in need of adventurous types to recover materials for study and experimentation.
Okay, and then I think there may be one more. Swordthane Jilta.
About time I found someone whose spine wasn't bent with age or cowardice. There's trouble on the horizon.
I think she's going to tell us to destroy Harrowstorms. What's the trouble?
Dark clouds are gathering over the Western Kingdom. Harrowstorms, they're called. The conjurings of Reachman witchcraft. Unfortunately, there are more reports of these unholy storms than folk willing to brave them.
How can I help?
What the Swords of Solitude needs is a group of volunteers with the guts to wade into a few of these Harrowstorms and stop the accursed witchwork that is causing these fell winds to blow.
All right, I'll gather some forces and deal with these Harrowstorms.
I envy your vigor. The last time I swung my axe in battle, there was a Longhouse Emperor on the Ruby Throne.
That was a long time ago. Oh, we got...
I haven't seen you before. Are you new to Solitude? Better yet, are you looking for work? If so, you've come to the right person. Let's talk.
I'm here about the notice. What sort of work are you offering?
Not me, my debtors. I provide funds to the coterie of organized scholars and the Swords of Solitude militia.
I should have talked to her
Both are
first.
short-handed and in arrears, so I took it upon myself to correct their courses before they leave me destitute. You'll work for them.
All right, who do I talk to about a job?
Tenzin represents the coterie. Odd work, but it pays well. Hidaver handles the militia's assignments. Dangerous work. Don't do it alone. Here's an advance. Make sure you're prepared for the job they offer you. You're no good to anyone dead.
Okay, so I was supposed to talk to her
Scholars
first.
should have simple jobs fit for an adventurous individual. However, you won't want to go it alone on orders from Hidaver's militia. Their duties are far too dangerous for one person. Help both with their tasks, and we can all get paid.
So basically, if you finish all the regular quests in the area, you can go there every day and get new quests. But obviously, they start repeating after a few days. Most people are just going to want to move on to another zone, but if you do that, eventually you'll do every single zone in the game, although it will take an incredibly long time. And then you might want to come back and do daily quests. All right, now let's go to the library and tell the librarian what happened.
What do you want?
The Maelmoth Mysterium. You are here to return Maelmoth's journal, I assume? It does my heart good to know that not everyone in Solitude is as careless and irresponsible as that Narsis Dren.
Speaking of careless and irresponsible Narsis Dren, he turned himself into a bottle.
So the mudmouth opportunist finally gets his just desserts. Ha! The Mages Guild would happily take that off your hands. I will reverse the spell. Eventually.
Eventually.
Why rush a teachable moment, eh?
Right.
Take this. You have more than earned it, I think.
Aggrieved Greaves. And they're heavy armor. We really don't want that, but that's alright. We can...
are. Oh, Narsis. You really tie the room together.
Ah, there it is. There's the bottle sitting there.
Perhaps I should find a bundle of flowers. You know, to make Narsis useful. For once.
Good luck writing your next book, Narsis. Alright, next step is to continue with Dark Clouds over Solitude. I need to go to a way shrine. And then we'll continue. We'll go into Blackreach and continue that story.
Did those two idiots set these things throughout all of Blackreach?
What's going on, Overseer Earlvar?
Watch your step, stranger. A couple of so-called ghost hunters laid traps all over the place. They insist that it's to catch spirits, haunting the mines. They don't leave soon. The only thing they'll be catching is my boot to their backside.
Why are there ghost hunters here?
Blackreach isn't for the faint of heart. When we first came down here, we lost people to animal attacks. That's gotten better, but now everyone's spooked about a few missing miners. Most don't realize it's not uncommon for workers to wander off.
So you don't think there's a need for these ghost hunters?
No. My wife Elle hired them. She said they'd ease people's minds, but the hawkers are only making things worse. You look capable. If you could expose them for the charlatans they are, Elle would kick them out. What do you say? It's a paying job.
I'll see what I can do.
The spirit-chasing fools are down in the settlement, likely setting more traps for people to trip over. The damn things covered one of my workers in paint and nearly took off his leg earlier. Shore's bones. I wish my wife hadn't hired these idiots.
Alright, by the way, what is this place?
We call it Dusktown. It's the Bitterblade Mining Consortium settlement. We're not a big organization. There's only about a dozen of us. Most of the work that goes on here is under the table. We're a small operation, but sturdy.
Have you had much success down here?
Well, there's no shortage of rare materials, that's for sure. But most of what we find is an abundance of creatures that want to sink their teeth into us. It's dangerous work, but everyone who signed on knew the risks going in.
Do you do most of your mining nearby?
Yes. But you'll do well to remember that the mines are strictly off-limits to anyone who isn't under my employ. If you're looking for work, come find me once you run off these ghost-hunting buffoons. Until then, I recommend you keep your distance.
Do you know where your missing miners might have gone?
Blackreach is a hard place. You spend any amount of time down there and you'll learn that quick. Unfortunately, some people forget that and get in their heads to go exploring. That's usually the last we see of them.
You think the missing miners just wandered off?
Wandered off and got eaten, more like. Either that or the darkness got to them. The isolation, the lack of sun. We've learned how to stay safe down here, but you can't protect people from everything. Especially not their own minds.
Alright, let's go meet these ghost hunters. We've also got... We've got some main story objectives down here as well, but... I'm gonna focus on this side quest for now. Alright, that's it for this episode. In the next episode, we'll meet these ghost hunters and see what we can do about the missing miners. We'll also continue to investigate the town and see how all of this relates to the Icereach Coven. Thanks for watching. See you next time.